Hello everyone, welcome to my second review on this channel. Today we'll be reviewing the Mesh Toys Superior Spider-Man. So here's the front of the box, this side of the box, the back of the box, nice art by the way, the other side of the box, and back to the front. And here is the top of the box that I was too lazy to animate without my hands. Alright, so let's get this guy unboxed and start the review. This figure is using the amazing Yamaguchi Spider-Man 2.0 body, and I have to admit, that body with this Superior Spider-Man design does give him a lot of shelf presence and just makes him look really fucking cool. So, getting up close to his chest, we get to see the painting and sculpting does look pretty damn great, although there are some imperfections, like a little bit of a paint bleed on his shoulder, and here is one on his neck. But the paint on the sculpt on his head for my copy is wonderful. The uneven webs look perfect, and thank God my copy doesn't have any paint bleeds or any sort of bad paint. Although I will have to say his eyes aren't accurate to the comic, which I don't kind of like, but it's fine. But if you are willing to spend some money, there is a guy on Instagram who is offering multiple head sculpts for him. The matte black they use for his legs looks amazing and clean, so does the other black parts for his body. Gauntlet has a great metallic silver, and that red circle is also painted on damn near perfectly. There is a tiny little paint bleed, but you wouldn't notice it if I didn't mention it, so yeah. The back spider is painted with a nice metallic red, and it looks beautiful, it stands out a lot, and the spider itself isn't too big or too small, it fits just right on the figure. The issue I'm having on his body right now is his lat joint. You can see there's like a little gap that's sticking out, and it looks very weird compared to his right side where it's more pushed in. It looks much cleaner and nicer, and if you have him facing forward, you can obviously tell the difference, and I do try to push it in, and I'm just thinking maybe dunking it in hot water might help, but I have this on my copy, you may have this on yours, I'm just here to tell. The thing worth mentioning about this figure is that his shoulder joints are sculpted a little bit more differently than the last two Mesh Toys Spider-Man figures. Those two had a much more exposed shoulder for more range. This one has a much more closed shoulder where it's covering the joint, but it gives you less range. And I'll be showing you that range in the articulation segment now. So starting off with his shoulders, he can move them up 90 degrees, a very weirdly angled 360 rotation on his biceps. He can do a full 360 on his arm. He has a single jointed elbow that gives you double jointed range. And he can also do this. For some reason, he has these lat joints that can go forward this far. His arms can cross this far forward, but if you combine with the lat joint that I just mentioned, he can go forward this far, and that far back. He can spin his wrist all the way around. He can move it up not so far because of the gauntlets, and down that far. Onto his midsection, he has a diaphragm joint that can move side to side, and his waist can do the same. His diaphragm joint can also turn this far and that far, and his waist can also turn. Hey there, so I had to stop animating his waist turning around because this is what it sounded like when I was trying to do it. So you heard there, that's why I don't want to continue animating that part. But what annoys me is that beforehand, I was actually able to turn him around a full 360, but the moment I started animating, he just got stuck and I couldn't turn him around unless I put really strong force. But I really hope this doesn't happen on your copy. Everyone's copy will be different. This is just from my experience from the figure. So continuing when we left off, he can move his diaphragm joint down that far and back that far, same as his waist, but combining both will make him go this far forward and that far back. His head can rotate all the way around, he can move side to side. I animated this too fast and I can't keep up with my voice, so I'm just gonna let you see it. So I have to stop animating him from this point because I couldn't animate his legs just because I ran out of sticky type and I couldn't make him stay still when I'm trying to move him. So I'm going to show you his articulation on his bottom half using my hands in a video. So his legs can move up this far up. What the fuck? Okay, fix that issue. Let's get back into it. His legs can move this far up. He has this odd looking cut under his knee that is single jointed, but it gives you double jointed range. Also, a thing about his knees, I don't quite like that piece right here that's sticking out. Sure, it was on the amazing Yamaguchi body, but if Mesh Toys was able to change his shoulders, they could 100% remove that piece, and I believe that they should start removing that piece when they start using this body again in the future. He has calf articulation that can move side to side like that. It can also move up and down, which does help him bend down further on his knees. He's also got a little bit of toe articulation that can go up sort of 90 degrees. His feet can go down that far, can go up that far. He has a pivot to the side that's pretty good, and a pivot to the other side that is equally as good. And he can rotate all the way around. He has a thigh swivel that can turn all the way around, although it moves at a very, very strange angle, just like his biceps. Lastly, quoting Javi the Hong, he has himself a beautiful spread. Onto his accessories, out of the box, he comes with fisted hands, then he has these relaxed hands, then he has these reaching out kind of hands that reminds me of a particular scene. Then he has these clawed hands, then these slightly chill clawed hands, his web crawling hands, and of course, his thwippers that you can use to plug in his web accessories. Here's what they look like since I couldn't get them fully into frame in the stop motion. But yeah, they're pretty decent looking, nothing too impressive. They just look like your average Spider-Man webs. Then he has these more flared out webs. Now I will say that these webs honestly look pretty ugly to me. Like, yeah, I know it's a web and it's meant to be white, but something about it just looks cheap and kind of ugly to me. It looks bland, kind of boring. I know it's meant to be white and stuff, but I don't know. It just looks really odd to me. It doesn't look appealing. Anyways, for his next accessory would be his half mask head, which I gotta say looks amazing and very well sculpted and painted or printed. I'm not sure, but I have no sort of paint chips or bleeds on my copy, and it just looks damn good. Unfortunately, it isn't all sunshine and rainbows because this head has an issue. So when I was first switching out his heads, this little socket for the head joint came off the head and was stuck on the joint. And it was a bit annoying to deal with since I would have to pull it off, and I could have accidentally pulled it too hard and it would fly off my hands and I would have lost it. But when I did eventually took it off, I just put it back in the socket. I'm just here to tell you that you could have this on your copy, and I suggest maybe super glue, but I haven't tried that myself. So I'm just telling you, if you sure you can fix it with super glue, then go ahead. Anyways, next would be his Peter Parker head and unmasked neck. Now I gotta really give Mess Toys their roses here because this shit is sculpted beautifully, and it makes me realize how Peter here is able to pull everyone on his roster. Because damn, this face is handsome as hell. But once again, not everything is sunshine and rainbows, because the unmasked neck that you see right here isn't even fully pushed into the joint inside. So before this, I was able to switch the masked and unmasked neck just fine, but for some reason, minutes before filming this, I would leave his unmasked neck on a little bit too long, and this socket here popped off, and it was stuck onto the neck's bottom joint. So then I had to dip the whole thing in hot water to take it off, since the unmasked neck is a pretty tight fit. But the worst part is that now the joint that holds the neck can now be constantly unplugging itself. As you can see, this is a regular masked head, and that shit was easily ripped out. But if you want to fix it, you have to align it with the shape of the joint. You can see here it's an L shape. So if this does happen to your copy, just follow this and like properly align it together. Now I don't know how to give a proper fix to this. I don't think super glue will work for this. But if you know how, leave a comment if anyone's gonna watch this. But yeah. Also, another issue, if that joint isn't in his neck, you could easily pull off his entire arm, including the lat joint. But as long as you put that joint to where it belongs, his whole arm won't pop off, I promise you. Now for his next accessory would be his little spider bot. The paint, sculpt, and detail on him looks incredibly clean. Not a single paint bleed or chip on my copy at all. Although I do wish the web lines on him would be painted, but I can do that myself. Now for his last and best accessory, it would be his 4 spider arms. The metallic red paint on this is painted extremely well and looks so appealing to look at. The only bad thing I could say about this is that every single point you see on his arms are actually really sharp, but the same goes for all his hands, honestly. These things are fucking painful to handle, goddamn. Anywho, here's how far the arms can move back. It's all single jointed for each segment that allows you to fold it like this and allows you to rotate it all the way around as you please. These arms so damn cool that you can make him stand like this. Like holy shit, this looks awesome. Now for his actual last accessory is the included stand that uses a metal sort of bendy wire that allows you to go in all kinds of directions freely than your standard figure stand. The base of the stand itself is extremely well made, and I'm so glad they didn't go with their old design and actually listen to their customer feedback. It is now height comparison time. Here's him standing next to the Marvel Legends 90s Spider-Man, the Marvel Legends No Way Home Doc Ock, not the one truly under that mask, the SH Figuarts Satoru Gojo, my previous review, the CT Toys Brown Suit Wolverine, my only authentic Amazing Yamaguchi, Spider-Gwen, SH Figuarts Obi-Wan Kenobi Darth Vader, and last but not least, Mr. Incredible. While you look at my bomb-ass images that I took, I'll be talking about my opinion for this figure. I think it is very well made and looks so good for the price it's selling for. The quality of the figure isn't superb, but it really depends on people's copy for the figure, because remember, this is a third party slash bootleg, so it won't come perfect unless you are extremely lucky. I do highly suggest to get this figure if you like the Superior Spider-Man, or just Spider-Man in general. For the looks of the figure, I give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, it's the Superior Spider-Man design on this body. It's literally perfection. For the quality, I give it a 6 out of 10. You saw the issues I had. It's a bit annoying. It isn't a deal breaker for me, but I just wish I didn't have to go through that. But it is a third party, so I gotta face the consequences. The posability is obviously a 10 out of 10. It's an amazing Yamaguchi body. I don't know what else to say. But overall, this figure is a solid 8 out of 10. It looks good. It is good. But of course, the missing two would be the quality itself. I just wish I was lucky to get a good one. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, subscribe, like, leave a comment, all that YouTube stuff. My next review will be the CT Toys Daredevil, and I promise this time the quality of that video will be better than this. I was kind of rushing this, so please forgive me. Anyways, see you next time.